I don't know if you guys know, but there's a new show called Chit Chat Chai. So this, so this is started by MK Tarbiyat. So it goes along with what we're doing as well. So it's quite similar. I'm just going to play a little bit from that because it's quite in line to things that we're doing, but it gives like a real perspective of what Khuddam have been through in their life. And you can see, like, they're a bit hesitant on going into too much detail about what they've done, but the main point is about how they've come out of that thing and how they talked about something really interesting. They asked the question, what things do you think your parents are most proud of you, the things that you've done? And all the people that said things, they would all say that it will come down to what they've done for the Jamaat, which is so interesting. And the things that they've done in their career actually comes secondary or third. So those things are going to happen anyway. But what are the extra things that you've done for Allah and for the Jamaat? And it just made them realize that those are the actual things that really matter in life for parents. And if your parents are pleased, ultimately Allah is pleased as well. So let me just share that quickly. I'll just play a bit from this. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
And it's about using that Jamaat network which we have to say, look, we're here as brothers. That's why I have MKA. So you have different departments. You've got SEDS, you've got Khidmah, you've got other departments, the BA department, to hold events to keep our youth engaged so that there's no time for them to go elsewhere. That's why it's so important for MK to be engaging and to be on the forefront of discussions like this and on the forefront of holding activities so that there's stuff there for the youngsters to take part in.
Yeah, I agree on that because I remember at uni masters, I had to go early because everyone was like, "Why don't you hang out?" And I've got a meeting. And they go, "What meeting have you got?" Right? Because I'm just saying uni. I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a master meeting." And look, what are you on? Like, what? Who does a meeting at like 9 p.m. or something? And they just thought I was talking nonsense, man. They just thought, hey, this guy's just talking crap. But it's true. It keeps you engaged, right? And you get that. It goes back to that point, right, where I was reading a book, which is actually ultimately, my career, like I said, I want to do finance and money, but ultimately, actually, if there's no purpose or impact or servitude that you're doing, it's meaningless, right? Like we're all sitting here, some of us are working from home, right? But you start to realize what's important and realizing that actually our work doesn't have any real impact. Is it even worth it? Like what we're doing, right? You can talk about chasing money and this and that, but if there's no end purpose of making an impact on the world or servitude, then is there a point?
Let me interject on there. The whole COVID-19 situation and the key workers who went to work. Yeah, the fact that only key workers were out there working on the front line shows that service to humanity is first and foremost. Bankers, accountants, lawyers, whatever you name it, they were all sat at home. They were on the front line. The people who were out on the front line serving humanity, giving their life on the line for the service of mankind, were key workers, were those individuals who were putting their own desires and their safety of their life on the back burner to serve humanity. And that's one thing. That's one thing which religion teaches, and nobody else teaches that. Always put your desires on the back burner.
That's it. Yeah. So that's really interesting. It just makes you open your mind up a bit. And we're all Khuddam, we're all going through different things. So Chit Chat Chai is basically a platform for like 4 guys to come on. You had Anjum there, you had Danish, you have Sabah as well, Murabbi. So it's like a good mix of different kinds of people. And it's good as well to know that, even Murabbis, were our previous life and how our life changed through Jama and everything. So it's good to learn from people's lives. And what Sabah was saying as well, like to have these initiatives, I believe that, we've started something, alhamdulillah, very good. And the more we do it, the more it will catch on, and the more like these guys who are a bit away, they'll also come in. So with all your help and with prayers, if we keep this up, I really think that in the future it can become something so big for our region that more and more of these guys will be able to be attached to us, and inshallah will serve its purpose in some way, inshallah. So yeah, let's keep this up, man. Every week, even if 5-6 people, we'll still carry it on. And when we are together physically, it will be even better. And the effect on people will be a lot more. So Jazakallah, man. Nas, let's go to you now.
Yep.
Tell us, how's the lockdown been for you so far, and how's everything?
For me?
Yeah.
You're just eating GDK all the time, Rabbi Sahab. Crazy.
What are you talking about? Hold on, I don't know where this is.
You guys gave blood the other day, didn't you? Well,
Yeah, but
that's tried to, but
for me,
Bichara.
it didn't work out. They said, no,
Listen, you got the barakat, man. The niyat was there. You got some of it out. You got some of it out.
like a quarter
Okay,
of a bag. They said that they're going to give it for like testing for like experimental stuff, and you know they're not going to waste it. So that's fine.
blood is precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that as well. You're serving humanity, you know, it's such a big thing. So it's always good to be reminded of how important that is as well.
I'm going to say first of all, this is like it's fairly quick. I've missed out a lot of stuff because on this topic of Dajjal, it's like it's quite a big topic, and what I've done, I've just wrote loads of stuff, but I'm just going to paraphrase it all, and then I'd rather have like a little discussion of things that I've missed out or things that anyone wants to mention, because I feel like that's a better way of everyone understanding what's going on. So as I mentioned, this week's statement is part 2 from last week's. So it's due the coming of the Dajjal. So here's a few hadiths. I'm not going to read them out because they're quite long, but it's a description on the Dajjal and how they've said that he's going to come in the latter days. So here they've said that the word Ghaffar is going to be written on his forehead. It's going to have a blind right eye. And this is to do, I think this is to do with a dream or something that the Prophet Muhammad had, where I think he was going around the Kaaba, and Jesus, son of Mary, was there, and behind him was someone basically resembling infidel, so someone in the past like that, and he also was performing tawaf around the Kaaba, and he asked who he was, and he said he's the Messiah, Dajjal. And there's this other hadith here, which is talking about the transportation, saying that I'm sure everyone's heard this, and that he's going to appear on a white donkey. And the fact that this is something that I learned as well, that it actually says white. Like, I didn't know, everyone says donkey, but the fact that it's so clear, but I'll get onto that later. But yeah, and then saying the 2 ears will be 70 yards apart. And then this is another version of it as well underneath, which basically says the same thing. And also saying that the distance of one leg will take basically a day and night's journey, showing the size of it. So what does this mean? I'll read some of it out. The hadith relating to the word Ghafir, written between the eyes, is in reference to how everyone would recognize their falsehood and how obvious it would be. This is proven by the Prophet ﷺ saying to his companions, as they'll be able to read it, because they were not able to read. So how would the Prophet just say, oh, you'll be able to read it? So it shows that it's in a metaphorical sense. And then again, the description here says the Dajjal will be strongly built and will be a whitish reddish complexion, and his hair will be short and curly. This in reality is the general appearance of the European nations today, and even some of the women as well, they have short hair as well, so that's the sign. And then again also, so the blind right eye shows that basically it refers to the Western nations, how strong they will be, and in terms of the like materialistic and technology stuff and how advanced that would be. Like, for example, like how they're using technology to like genetically alter things that Allah has created, which is obviously against Islam. And even though technology can be used in a good way, but it's just basically twisting it and making it bad for everyone. So the word one eye does not have to be taken literally. Allah says in the Holy Quran, whoever is blind in this world will be blind in the hereafter, chapter 17, verse 73. So again, this shows that it's to do with the spiritual sight, and that it will all be worldly and not anything to do with Islam. So again, this shows that it's metaphorical and not like physical one eye, you know. Again, this is a lot more explanation here as well. So again, the use of a donkey signifies transport, and to do with its size and the fact that its color being white, it can't be of like a real animal. And the fact that in the time of the Holy Prophet, donkeys were used as transport, so that would be the best way to describe it now. And this and all the other these mentioned refers to modern day transport like airplanes and trains, which again proves that it's a Western societies among us and not some mythological creature. And the Holy Prophet made it clear that the Dajjal would be killed through arguments and proof rather than physical killing. In one hadith, he said, when the Dajjal makes his appearance and I'm in your midst, I will overpower him by arguments. And if he makes his appearance and I am not in your midst, everyone should argue with him. So it shows again, it's not a physical battle with the sword, and it's just with words. Yeah, and below again is the same. Yes, basically the same thing. So the understanding of the Holy Quran. So can you not see that Islam is a religion of logic? Why is it that regarding the topic of the end times, people deem it acceptable to make fairy tale stories just to instill fear into others and make Allah break all the laws and rules of this world just to fulfill this hadith? I would like to remind everyone that the Holy Quran is made for all of time and all people. It is written in a way for all of us to understand and make use of its teachings. How can Allah convey a message to the Holy Prophet ﷺ mentioning future people and technologies that doesn't exist yet? It was in a way for them to make sense of it with the capacity of knowledge that they had in that time. So, like, for example, how would, God talk about cars or trains? Like, that wouldn't make sense earlier on. So, yeah, the Prophet ﷺ said, Dajjal is not the name of one man. According to the Arabic lexicon, Dajjal signifies a group of people who present themselves as trustworthy and pious, but are neither trustworthy nor pious. Rather, everything they say is full of dishonesty and deceit. Zaki's here. This characteristic is to be found in the class of Christians known as clergies. Another group is that the philosophers and the thinkers who are busy trying to assume control of machines, industries, and the defined scheme of things. They are the Dajjal and deceive God's creatures by their actions and false claims. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so you can, shall I carry on reading? Yeah, they are the Dajjal because they deceive God's creatures by action and tall claims as if they are partners in God's dominion. The clergy are arrogating to themselves the status of prophethood because they ignore the true heavenly gospel and spread a perverted and corrupted version as the supposed translation of the gospel. And Jazakallah, that's the final hadith that I want to say this for all the parts I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it with this hadith just to show the importance of how we should accept the Promised Messiah. Jazakallah. I just want to say as well beforehand that there's a few things that I didn't mention. For example, even when I was having a discussion with my mom, she was saying, I asked her, I said, what do you think the Dajjal is? And she was giving me the description that I didn't mention here about smoke coming out of the nose and carrying people, of the donkey and carrying people in the belly and the fire, basically fuel and coal and all these modern transport things. And another thing that I didn't mention was that someone, I read it somewhere, so I can't exactly say it, but someone asked the Prophet ﷺ, how can we safeguard ourselves? And I think I discussed with you, Marusab, yesterday, that he said that we should use specific parts of Surah Qaf to basically protect us. And if you actually read into that, it's to do with all the bad deeds and all the things that people do wrong. And that shows that's what the Dajjal is and not a creature, basically. So yeah, Jazakallah. Anything else anyone else want to add on, please?
I just find, you mentioned about make sure you save your work, yeah. Or just about the white donkey. That's what you have to understand. In that time, people had no clue what a plane was. So of course, someone doesn't know about something, you're gonna have to use certain language or things that they already know to explain what it will be like. Just like we don't know what heaven is like, but in the Holy Quran, we see words like honey and milk and these kind of things used. That's an idea of what it can be like. Allah uses pure items to make us understand that heaven is such an amazing place. So with them as well, to explain what a plane was, just like you said, a donkey was used for transport. But the way the Holy Prophet used white, if you think about it, all planes are white.
Exactly, yeah.
They're not any other color if you think about it, not apart from maybe the Pakistan Airlines. Apart from that, most of them, they're all white, so you can actually see them in the sky and everything, which is incredible. So that's something which I actually got from your presentation. But it's also would be nice to see what Sunnis say and other Muslims say what they think Dajjal is. I don't know, have you guys ever come across that in school and with your friends or anything?
I have personally, obviously, I've had little discussions about it, and exactly the way that it's mentioned in the hadith, that's exactly what I think it is. And they say that, if you're they used to accuse me of twisting words. And I said, if you're just gonna read blindly, you're just going to have a storybook in front of you rather than real life examples. But obviously, you can't argue with people who are closed-minded and won't accept the truth. They'll just be stuck on their own sort of teachings, what they've learned.
Faris, but what's your concept? What's your idea of this Dajjal talk?
My concept, the same
What's the
concept he has given us. Yeah, he's right. The things which Nasir mentioned, it's all in Khalifa Rabi' Majlis Irfan. Khalifa clearly mentioned that was in Urdu that जो दज्जाल होगा वो गधी वो खलीफा राबी was saying that वो गधी नहीं पैदा हो सकती जो इतने बड़े गधे को जन्म देगी, जो पैदा करेगी. वो पहले गधी लेके आओ, कहाँ से लेके आओगे? तो का ये था कि उसमें लोग बैठेंगे, वो ऐसी सवारी होगी, ऐसी कार्गो शिप होगा, ऐसा कार्गो गधा यूज फॉर शिपिंग द थिंग्स और कोरियर कार्गो थिंग्स. तो वो ऐसी एक कार्गो जगह होगी जिसमें लोग बैठेंगे, सीट्स उसकी बड़ी कंफर्टेबल होंगी, लग्जरी सीट्स होंगी, कुमकुमे जलेंगे, मतलब लाइटिंग इज लाइक दिस, द कुमकुमे इज लाइट ऑन, ठीक है. देन ही विल ईट फायर, तो फ्यूल पेट्रोल डलेगा, he will eat fire, निकालेगा भी वो fire. The people who will accept him or his supervision or like his power, he will give him food and shelter and everything. The people who will oppose him, they will send fire, they will throw nuclear power, and they will throw nuclear bombs and all these grenades and rocket launcher, everything. In Afghanistan and everywhere we are seeing these things because we are opposing the superpower.
Yeah,
So
there's a piece on this as well, saying that there'll be a mountain of food and a stream of water. And it shows that even all the Western countries are the ones that have all these resources.
Exactly.
Ones like you said, they're all struggling.
Yeah, और तो second thing थी वो ये थी कि वो हवा में उड़ेगा तो वो चलने से पहले आवाज देगा कि मैं चलने लगा हूँ. खलीफा राबी मेंशन न्यूयॉर्क टू कराची जाने लगा है जहाज, आ जाओ जिसने आना है. और वो हवा में ही नहीं उड़ेगा बल्कि पानी में भी चलेगा, और पानी में चलेगा तो उसका साइज इतना बड़ा हो जाएगा कि वो सालों का सफर हफ्तों में और हफ्तों का सफर दिनों में किया करेगा. उसका एक पाँव ईस्ट में होगा तो दूसरा पाँव वेस्ट में होगा. तो इस तरीके से सारी निशानियां, और उसके दो कानों के दरमियान 107 सेंटीमीटर का फासला भी होगा, दो विंग्स के दरमियान. इतना क्लियर खलीफा राबी ने मेंशन किया अपनी उस मजलिस इरफान में. इट्स मोस्ट पॉपुलर clip of Khalifa Rabi about Dajjal.
Yeah, this is a real shame because it's still a concept and people still believe it. And I was watching a program, Faith Matters on MTA, and they were saying it, and they were like, this is like literally a children's story. When you put a child to bed, you'll say things like this, and he'll think about it like a cartoon. But for some reason or another, people have just bought into it and thought that this is actual concept. And I was just literally typed it on Google Translate. I just typed in Dajjala, which is what the word Dajjal comes from, and literally comes up meaning fake or to make delusional. And so anything that falls into that, whether it's the news, whether it's superpowers, they literally change. As you know, we're going through times where Islam and the name of Islam has been so corrupt now that people have fully been delusionized that Islam is a religion of terrorism. And so that's what Dajjal is. That's what the concept of Dajjal is. And the reason why the Holy Prophet ﷺ saw Hazrat Masih Maud and Dajjal at the same time in his vision of Miraj was because they would come at the same time. And Hazrat Masih Maud would come at the time where Islam would be at its lowest point, and all the mullahs and so-called scholars who are leading Islam, they're the actual people who are fully making Islam a fake religion, a religion that's made up. That's why Hazrat Masih Maud came at the same time. That's why that vision, both those men were standing together. That's why Dajjal's one eye is open, one eye is closed, because his eye of spirituality is completely closed, and it's all become material. And we see that today with all the things on TV. That's why this topic is so important. And many people, once they've understood the true concept of Islam, my father-in-law, for example, he was told by the Murabbis the true concept of Dajjal, and that's what made him realize that Ahmadiyyat is a true religion, and it's a religion of logic. And that's what you spoke about. Islam is a religion of logical arguments, and you have to answer people logically, which is what will destroy Dajjal, which is what will destroy these people's concepts. Yeah, man.
That was good, man. That was a good explanation.
No, you can't fit all these things in your presentation.
Yeah, of course.
But
Yeah.
that's why I think we should concentrate now more on actually opening up and discussing whatever we do, because then you can always learn new ideas with each other.
Yeah, I was gonna do the Jal. I told you I was gonna do the Jal and Gog Magog together, but then you was like, no, do them separately. Now I realize why you said do it separately.
Yeah.
One more thing about this Surah Kahf. It is in 15th para. The first ruku and the last ruku on Friday. That's the most suitable time on Friday after Fajr. The first ruku of Surah Kahf, and the last ruku of Surah Kahf, to get rid of these all things.
Yeah, and it's also the Jal. Sometimes it's almost like waswasa. It's almost like the whispering in your ears. Sometimes when you something comes in your mind, you are diverted away from something. That's why we're taught to read these parts of the Quran, because it takes that away from us. So again, there's another magic of the Holy Quran, to protect us from all these kind of evils. Yeah, man, really good, man. There's a good discussion, huh?
Yeah, that was really good. I enjoyed that. That's probably one of the best ones because everyone has a part in it, and I like it better that way.
Hamza has a part. Hamza, what are you saying?
Just my corner.
I'm sure you've had discussions with your friends, maybe your Shia friends or something.
Not specifically about the Jal. It's more about not with Shia mates, but other non-Ahmadi mates. It's more to do with death of Jesus and stuff like that. For the Jal, I think you touched on it briefly, Nasser. It's just it's not one person or one like monstrous being. It's a group of people, isn't it? And I think from what was the reference, Nasser, for all the writing? That was from thingy, wasn't it? From was it from Essence of Islam?
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been one of the Urdu books, but in Essence of Islam, there's I think volume 4. He basically says it's to do with Christianity, isn't it? You mentioned it briefly, that the people who take the clerics, the priests, etc., who make Jesus to be a deity, to make him to be a god. And from this one thing, it's reference to Quran as well. I can't remember the verse, but just because of that, he says it as if Allah says if the heavens may nigh cleave asunder, just from this one thing, and all of it is really linked to that. And that's also from the last bit of Surah Al-Fatiha, isn't it? Those who've not incurred that displeasure and those who've not gone astray. From that prayer, he's talking about, it was in Mecca, wasn't it? It was revealed, and he's talking about the Jews and the Christians. That a time will come when Muslims will become like the Jews, and the Christians will have the main bulk of material power, worldly power, and they'll be devoid of faith and they'll have gone astray. That's what the Dajjal is essentially. That's what you're praying for at the end of Surah Al-Fatiha, to lose the right path and to become like the Christians and the Jews of this time, but predominantly Christians because they have the main material power of the age.
That's why I like getting different perspectives, because Mubarak, the ideology in Pakistan, you're bringing that into the show. You know what they're talking about, and you have you guys on the street or in the schools, and this is it's true. We have to put all the ideas together and really try to wrap our minds around each topic to be able to we're Ahmadis for a reason. But if we don't know why we're Ahmadis, we're never going to increase our faith. So hopefully through these conversations, you can get one step closer to that. Okay. Now should we do the Kahoot now?
Yep, let's do it.
Yes, Kahoot. Boy.
Zaryab, I keep messaging him every week. He's got something. This week was a genuine excuse. His uncle had some heart condition, which he had to